Welcome to this week's 7th Tackle. My name's Tony Coonan. I'm on the Toowoomba Rugby League board. My main job's sort of player liaison officer, but I'm also managing the rep side with Dean Bosnich. So we've got Dean here this week, and Dean's the head coach for Valleys, Toowoomba Valleys, and also the head coach for the TRL rep side. Dean. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
So Boz, tell us a little bit about your playing career.
I was a Manly junior.
Yeah.
Grew up in Sydney, Manly. Came through the ranks there, all through every grade from Harold Matthews all the way through. Had a couple of bad knee injuries while I was there, and when I had the second one done, I was around 19, and I got an offer to go to Cronulla. So that was an offer to go to their top squad. So I took that up, went there, had 3 or 4 years there at Cronulla, where we got within pretty much that first year, 2002, about 5 minutes of getting into a grand final, and the Warriors got us on the belt. And eventually decided to take up an offer in around 2005, I think it was, to go to France, and got an offer to go there to play an assistant coach at first, and I'd always wanted to coach. And
as far as the technical part of the game and the skills part of the game, it's come so far. Have you noticed that just within going from 2005 to 2014?
It's even changed dramatically in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You got to remember when, like in 2002, although we were full-time professional, rugby league still hadn't really been full-time professional for that long, really. So I think a lot of places were coming to grips with how to handle it, how to run it. Big backbone of what we did was fitness orientated, and that's where it started to go to the next level of performance training and all these high performance units and things they have these days, where it's very technical, the amount of
the big thing that I've noticed is from my era, the 80s 90s sort of thing, where you just hit it up and going as hard as possible and getting good rolls, and then somebody smart in the backs will be able to do something. And I've sort of noticed, like, the Clydesdale side really is a reasonably small side. As a club side, Valley's forward pack is pretty. But what I've really noticed with what your coaching does with you, and you got smaller guys. Sam Capewell's put on a bit of size. Smithy's put on a bit of size, but they were smaller forwards, and I've noticed that there's so many lines and angles that you sort of work on, so that those smaller forwards aren't getting sort of bashed.
That's right. It's very premeditated. It might seem to some people like they just get the ball and choose a way to run, but this is stuff that, like, we work with them from day one on working towards their strengths. So being smaller guys, they can't. Some guys can get away still with just carting the ball up. But our guys can't, and they have to be smart about their line running. They have to be able to ball play.
So Boz got to the grand final last year. Had a good year, especially the second half. What's the main difference between last year and this year's side?
Losing some experience where we were a young team anyway, and then we've lost Gus McKellar and Andrew Farrell, who was our captain, so they've left big holes. But we knew that was coming last year, so last year we put a lot of things in place to ensure that guys started to step up that knew they had to and take on more leadership roles. So guys like Sam Capewell, Blake Edwards, they're our co-captains, and I mean, they're still only 23, 24 years old. Like, these are the senior players at our club now, so we're a very young club still. But then into this year, we're sort of, it's not that we've started all over again, but we're still finding our feet with new halves pairing. Obviously, you take Gus out, now young Ryan Stevens has to really step up, and he will, and he's been playing fantastic during this bad patch.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is you're doing your high performance coaching this year, and part of that is sort of you've got to concentrate on a few blokes within your own club and see their development.
So I decided to use that on some younger guys, so they'll get more benefit out of it. So Huey Sedjo, who debuted last year, had a great year. He's a centre. And then we have Jason Sharp, who's a young lock in the middle. So players like that are the ones that I'll be sort of doing that with. So the good thing about the course is that you can tie it all into the club you're coaching, and so they benefit from it as well.
Who are you excited about in the Clydesdale side?
I always love taking the team away. It's a great thing, and I mean, I'm really excited that we get someone like Steve Franciscus in there. He's a great footballer and he's played at a high level. It's always good when people like that come back to local games. I really think our halves will be a good combination. Having Jason Wilmot and Sean Loxley, we've got a very structured, smart half, and we've got a free running, more ad-lib sort of 5'8", so that's a good combination. There's lots of good players there. I mean, it's hard to single people out, like Lewis Reese too, the centre who's come from Wales. He's in great form. He's very hard to stop. And I think our forward pack is great, our middle forward pack. We've got experience, we've got size this year, we've got some youth, we've got skill in it. Like, it's one of the, probably, of the 3 years I'm doing it, I think it's the strongest team on paper.
So, Boz, who's your pick for the top 5 this year?
I think definitely Waddles. I think Gatton will be there. I think Souths will be there. I probably think Dolby at this point. Probably a good shot at it. I hope we're in it as well. So that would be my 5 at the moment, but a lot of things will change too.
Very even competition, hey? Righto, Boz, that's it for 7th Tackle this week.